Okay, so it is the weekend. The markets are shut. So today I thought we would do another episode of the backtesting video that we did the other day, where we're going through and testing this new thing that I'm looking to implement into the strategy. So we're going to go onto the charts now and do another month of this testing to keep gathering data for it to eventually bring it into the markets. That is the plan. So as you can see, we're back on the FX replay to test some more of this. Now we're currently up to August, so we're going to do all of August and a little bit of September to see what the results look like, and hopefully by the end of this little mini series thing we'll be able to come to a conclusion on what the data is saying in terms of what is better or not to take. So let's carry on. Obviously we're starting at 13k profit for the year. 2025 is a bit of an odd one, so we'll see what happens, but let's begin. So this is the start of London session here, and we are basically, if you didn't watch the last video, looking to see breaks of structure that close below the wicks. So for example, this would be something that doesn't sort of fit the strategy, but we also still have to take it to compare the data, and so this is what we're doing here. So this is the first trade we are looking at. We're going to place the order and let the trade run through, and as you can see, that loses, which is one that we would be able to avoid. Let's just make sure this is in. Let's just make sure this is also August. I believe it was. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there we go. And we go on to the next session. And this is literally all we're doing, is we're trying to not necessarily make more profit changing this, but more so we're looking to save capital, preserve capital, and reduce losses, because ultimately at the end of the day, trading is more about keeping capital as opposed to building and making more. So this is going to be a valid trade. This closed below, so this setup in theory should have a higher chance of winning. That being said, the reason is we're looking to see this wick here, the candle that breaks structure to close below the lowest or highest wick in the low it breaks. So this is the wick here. This candle is the one that broke it. It closes below this wick. So for me, this would count as a high quality or higher quality setup. And so we will see if this trade wins. Obviously it needs to break the low, which it hasn't done a few times, so this will probably lose. Yeah, we're still struggling to break that low, and there we go, it wins. So that's a good thing. We got a strong break and a close below the wick, proving the strategy there. So that's a win, and then we just go to the next session and we keep testing. So there's probably going to be no trade today. Yeah, no trade. Now if you want to see more sort of about this trades and how to backtest, then feel free to check out my Instagram and my other YouTube videos. There's lots of content on there telling you how I do it. So this, for example, has broken structure but failed to close above the wicks, so this trade should probably lose, or will not probably lose because it's still a valid setup. It's just a less likely winner. So let's see, and as you can see, it does lose. So put this on here, go to the next session, and so that would be one that we could avoid by trading the way that we want to with this new thing we're potentially looking to implement. So this is a break again, however it did not close above this wick, So this will also probably be a losing position. Don't worry too much about the strategy I'm trading here. What I'm testing is just, okay, we're not going to get an entry there, is just reducing losses and preserving capital. That's what we're looking for. So there was no trade there. Next session. Wow, that's a lot of momentum there. Let's carry on. And this is what you should be doing at the weekends. I feel like it's quite a productive way to, you know, spend your weekends. So I would recommend you do this, because the thing is, you may have a strategy that works, but ultimately you need to constantly be improving it, testing it more, and making sure that the strategy still works, because, you know, market conditions change all the time. So that wouldn't have been an entry, it was too late in the day. But as you can see, it still fit the plan, and it did actually end up winning, which is, you know, a good thing. Yeah, you want to be doing this, because this is going to allow you to, you know, constantly improve your strategy around these market conditions. So here we're looking to go short, and that one did not work. So we should put that in, and then remove, go to the next session. That's not broken, that's now broken. And so with this, that is a break below. So we are going to take this like so, and we're in, and we hit TP. So that's a good trade, a good setup there. That's another win. And then we go to the next session. So we're so far up 3% in August for this month, or 3% on the video. I don't know sort of what it looks like for August. So that is technically a break. So we are going to be shorting here. This is a far riskier setup, just because of the size and momentum of the break, but it is still valid. So we're going to take this trade. I have to keep expanding it a bit here. Come on. There we go. So there we go. That's a market entry there. So new order, market, save. Oh, for God's sake. Save. Right, there we go. So we're in this trade, and it loses. Just make sure that one was valid. Just about. And then remove. Next session. Okay. And this is all I'm doing, is I'm literally just looking for trade opportunities that can be, you know, improved in the win rate, in the chance of winning, because that way you could maybe scale up on prop firms. You could risk more on a position if you know that it's a strong break, if the data suggests that. As I said, we haven't done a full year yet, so we don't know. Now that's a massive candle, and we're in September now. So what we'll do is delete this, drag this down, like so, and now we need to work out the stats for August. So we took, for this one, it was 3, 6, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So we made 4%. Like that, and with the non-wicks, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, we lost 5%. And then let's just double check. So -1, -2, -3, break even, 3%, 2%, 5%, yeah, 4%. Okay, and then for the win rates, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades and 1, 2, 3 wins. So that's going to be a 37.5% win rate that month. And for this one, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, no wins. So that's a 0% win rate. And so what you can see here is just trading. For example, this month, obviously we'll do it over the year, but just trading where it breaks and closes above or below the wick, we would have been up 4%. If we traded where it just closed before the wick, we'd be down 5%. And if we traded them both together, so not differentiating between whether it breaks or closes above or below, we'd be down 1%. So from this month alone, we've actually made, if we tried this, we would have actually made a few percent extra profit, and we would have had a winning month as opposed to a losing month. So that's something to keep aware of. Now, that being said, some months is slightly different. As you can see, we only had a 13% return in Feb just using this as opposed to 16%, but over the year it might look different. So that's what we need to be aware of. So we're going to do a little bit of September as well. I'm not going to trade this, so we'll go to the next day. We'll do a little bit of September as well, just to see. So this is going to be a valid break, and it's a close below, so it will be from here to here, and we are going to go short. No, we're not. See, so when price has already reached my TP areas, you can see there's going to be no trade for me there, because it's essentially already gone where I want it to go, and as you can see, that trade wouldn't work. So that's another thing you want to test and be aware of. So let's see what happens here. We do get a break. But it's not above the candle. So again, we're going to test this. So go long, and we'll have to increase this. There we go. Increase this slightly more. And we're in. Was that? Yeah, it was fine for time. We do have news coming up, but I kind of just hold through news with this because I'm kind of just looking at entries. So that one was a break, but it didn't close above, so that was a loss that we could have avoided. Let's go to the next session and see what happens. Again, so we do get a break above, but no close above, so we're gonna try this out, but this should lose. And we're not gonna have a trade, so we'll go to the next. We'll do a few more days. Look at that. We'll do a few more days and then call it a day for this video. But obviously you can keep an eye on this series and watch along and see if you find it kind of makes any improvements to your own strategy, because this isn't just relevant to my strategy. This could help your strategy and work for your strategy as well. So that's something to bear in mind. Now this would just about be a valid trade, just about being the keyword. Let's mark it up, and we're in just in time, and that is going to be a loss, like so. And we'll do one more day and see what happens. It's not really a break. We can't count that. We'll do another day. We'll do one more trading day. let's do one more. So that is just about a break below, and again like this. Short. And it's probably a loss, yeah. So that would be a loss. Maybe you could have taken partials, but not with this. So that is this month of backtesting done. So with the new thing I'm implementing, we would have finished up there for August up 4%. We would have finished down 1% because we're combining the two to get the data. But then we can test it just using one later on if we feel like it's, potentially made a difference. But either way, let me know if you found this video useful, and I will see you tomorrow for another video.